Hello, my name is Dr. Beth Brombosz. I am the person behind blogger2author.com. I am a blogger and author. I'm also a copywriter and a copy editor, and one of my real passions in life is helping bloggers, vloggers, and other content creators turn their content into a book so that they can share their passion, build authority in their niche, and then also help generate a little bit of passive income. So I wanted to get on today real quick to share my top 3 tips to help you stop procrastinating. So over and over, I hear from my clients and followers that, oh yeah, I would love to write a book, but it's on my to-do list, and it's been on my to-do list for like 6 months, a year, maybe more, and they just never get around to doing it. So I want to give you 3 quick tips to help you really get going with your book. Tip number 1 is to have a plan. So if you have a plan, and by this specifically I mean really having an outline is going to help you so much. If you have that plan, excuse me one moment. My dog's getting into stuff. The joy of live video. If you have a plan, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to really sit down and get that work done. So if you don't have a plan, if you don't have an outline, it's easy to sit down at your computer, stare at a blank screen and wonder, gee, what am I supposed to write about? Or even, staring at the blank piece of paper, same thing. Or maybe if you're a big hipster, maybe you got a typewriter, whatever your jam is, you just want to make sure that you know what you're supposed to write about, because it's going to make it a lot easier to sit down and say, okay, I have to write 500 to 800 words on this specific subject, as opposed to saying, oh yeah, I have to write 500 words for my book, and on something I don't really know where to start. So it's just going to help keep you focused, which is going to make it easier for you to get through the book writing process. So that's tip number 1. Tip 2 is to set a deadline. When you have that firm deadline, and especially when you share it with other people, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to stay on track, because you have some accountability built in, is really what it comes down to. So one way to do this is to share with your followers that your book is launching on a certain date. You can even create a page for your book on your website or your blog to help get the word out. And I would encourage you to do that anyway, because it's just good for promoting. And on there you can put your launch date, and when people know that your book is coming up, that deadline is coming up, that they should be seeing that soon, that's good. Just sort of a good push for you to go ahead and finish your book. So that's one way to do it. Another way is actually to offer pre-orders on your book, and I actually recommend this, highly recommend it to all of my clients, because once you have customers who have actually paid for your book, like they put their hard-earned money on that book, that is amazing motivation to make you finish. And that's actually what really helped me stay motivated to finish my first book, is the fact that I had those people expecting to get the copy of their book like on that day that it's supposed to come out. And that is a really, really great way to, get yourself going, because again, you don't want to disappoint your loyal fans and followers, those people who are going to buy your book right away. They mean a lot to you, you mean a lot to them, and you want to nurture that relationship. You're not going to let them down, and so that's going to help motivate you to finish. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is to actually schedule the time to work on your book, and that really comes down to making writing your book a priority. So if your book is sort of a someday thing, it's never going to get finished. It's going to be something that you always put off because there's another task that comes up that's more urgent or more important. There's always going to be something that's more urgent or, that comes up. You have to put out fires every day, that sort of thing. But if you are going to finish your book, you must make writing your book a priority. Make editing your book a priority, marketing, everything. Like, you need to bump that up the list and make sure that you're getting it done. And the way that I really suggest you do this is to set aside time at least once a week, so it's consistent, where you set aside a minimum of maybe 1 or 2 hours to dedicate specifically to your book. And that will help move things along. And then also when you're doing it on a consistent basis, it's going to help make it a habit. And once you keep the ball rolling, it's going to become easier and easier for you to finish. And sometimes then, you know, like you'll get really into it and all of a sudden it's 4 hours later and you've written, you know, 2,000 words, and oh my gosh, that's a huge, huge leap towards finishing your book because you decided to take the time to sit down and write your book. If you never take the time to sit down and write your book, it's never going to get finished. So you really do need to prioritize. So again, to summarize, tip number 1, have a plan. Tip number 2, set your deadline. And tip number 3, prioritize and schedule the time in to your calendar to write your book. I hope you found these helpful. If you did, I'd love it if you would share this video with your friends who are also bloggers or entrepreneurs, content creators, because I think this will help them a lot too. If you are still stuck, especially on step 1, even having a plan, or you're not sure what you should write your book about, you just need help getting started, check out the link in the comments. It's going to take you to my Book Basics mini course, which over the course of 7 days, you get 7 training emails that also include special worksheets that are just for my mini course participants. That'll help walk you through the first steps that you need to take to help put together your book, to create a plan, and by the end of the course you're going to have a solid plan with dates set that you can follow to help keep you on track, help keep you accountable to write your book. So I hope that you will look into that. It's going to be really valuable. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you also get a 20-minute consult with me so we can work through any kinks or any sort of problem areas that come up for you. So I hope to see you there. Again, I will put that link in the comments, but if you're more of an auditory person or if you're listening to this while you're driving or something, it's blogger2author.com/mini-course. Have a wonderful day, and thanks again for watching.